people, and vice versa. Now, to know more about cryptocurrencies, we have to know about the mother of all cryptocurrencies, that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin was actually created to solve the peer-to-peer transactions between, as in a way to solve the way we pay for goods and services, the way we transfer money between each other. Okay? It was actually created by an unknown person who has the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. He's anonymous now. All we know is it was created in 2009 and has since been operational for the time being. Now, since its creation, it has actually increased in value. We know one Bitcoin was almost 10 cents when it was created. As we all can see now, Bitcoin is above $10,000 on the exchanges. Now, Bitcoin is a fluctuating asset, or it's a tradable asset. So in a way, it can appreciate in value and it can also depreciate in value. But the important purpose for Bitcoin is that it was made to solve our payment problems, as in the way we buy goods and services, the way we pay for them. And most of Bitcoin transactions are actually verified on a network layers through cryptography. That's the method by which Bitcoin was created. And it's distributed on a ledger called the blockchain. Now, we will ask ourselves, why cryptocurrency? Why cryptocurrency? Because it's a means of actually trading. It's actually a means of exchange. We exchange money. Money is a form of exchange. Let's say I'm buying something, I'm buying goods. I pay for it with money. Same with cryptocurrency. You can pay for goods and services with cryptocurrency. You can also mine cryptocurrency. Mining in a sense that when I send one part of cryptocurrency to a friend, or the person sends one cryptocurrency to me, it's actually verified. The transaction is verified by mining for a fee. So anyone who is mining cryptocurrency profits from it, as in from the fees. For instance, I use the bank as an example because now if I want to send money from my end here to I'm in Ghana, I want to send money to probably Germany. Normally we use MoneyGram, Western Union, and like we pay a fee for it, and the banks serve as an intermediary, as a middleman. But with cryptocurrency, you can actually send money from Ghana to anywhere in the world. For instance, I use Germany, from Ghana to Germany, without even paying, as in using the bank. All I have to do is have the cryptocurrency I have on my wallet, send it from my wallet to another person. All I need is the person's wallet address. I can send the person the amount of cryptocurrency I want to send, or the amount of Bitcoin I want to send. And the process by which the person will receive that Bitcoin will be verified through mining. So if the verification is done, then the person will receive the Bitcoin on the other side. Okay? You can also trade Bitcoin on our exchanges. Okay, that's where Exchief comes in place. Okay? Exchief was made, or it's a platform where you can trade any type of cryptocurrency. Okay? You can actually buy on the spot, you can sell on the spot. You can also buy if someone lists. For instance, in Ghana here, if someone wants to buy Bitcoin, they use Momo transactions. Okay, for instance, if I have maybe $500 of Bitcoin and I want to sell, I advertise it, and if you have that same amount in value in CDs, you pay through Momo. So I'll send Momo to the person, and the person will send me the Bitcoin. But normally it's rated with a CD to dollar ratio. So, for instance, one dollar is equals to like maybe 5.4 cedis. Okay, so we'll say that $1 of Bitcoin will be equivalent to 5.4 cedis. So if I want to buy maybe $20 worth of Bitcoin, I have to multiply $20 by 5.4. Then I'll get the amount of money I have to pay for that amount of BTC that I want to buy. We can also benefit from holding. Holding means that holding on for your dear life. Okay, that's a term for, let's say you believe in that particular cryptocurrency and you believe that it will appreciate in value in the near future, whether the short term or the long term. You buy it, you hold in your wallet. As the years go by, you see it's appreciating in value. Same way it can depreciate in value. Okay. But if you believe in a coin and you believe that it will appreciate in the near future, it's like buying stocks. Okay, you buy stocks today, you believe maybe the next 5 to 10 years it will appreciate in value. You hodl it, then you make profits off it in the near future. Okay. Like I said, Bitcoin mining are actually verified, or is the process by which transactions are verified and added to the public ledger, known as the blockchain. Okay. Anyone with access to the internet and a suitable hardware can actually participate in mining of Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. So I explained earlier, uh, the process of transactions, as in being a Bitcoin merchant. Being a Bitcoin merchant means that you are someone and sells, who buys and sells Bitcoin. For instance, you want to buy Bitcoin when the price is low and sell when the price is high. But normally in Ghana here, what we realize is they make money off the spread. For instance, you are selling your Bitcoin at 5.3 for $1 worth, and I want to buy it. And I when I buy it, I want to sell mine at 5.4. So between 0. The spread between 5.3 and 5.4 is 0.1. That means that I make profit off the spread. So if I sell my Bitcoin that I bought from you at 5.4, I'll multiply that spread by the amount of Bitcoin I sold. That will be my profit. So mostly Bitcoin merchants normally use this method in making profit. And Bitcoin can also be used in buying commodities, as in we'll learn later on about our e-commerce platform, where we've actually created a stable coin called CAC, where you can use on our e-commerce platform. You use it in buying goods. You can use it to pay for services. So our CA more platform will actually not list only products. We also list services. As in, for instance, you want to maybe board a car, you want to use the Uber service. You can use our platform in doing that. So you can pay for services through that platform. Now, when we talk about trading tool, is trading on this. We have two types of trading. We have the spot trading, and we also have margin trading. We have a lot of trading available. As now on our Exchief platform, we only provide two types now. We provide the spot trading and the OTC trading. The spot trading is when the markets, you buy your cryptocurrency at market price or at limit price. Yeah. Limit price that is maybe Bitcoin's current price is 10,300 and something dollars, but you don't want to buy your Bitcoin at that price. So maybe you want to buy it below that price. So you limit the price down. So you sell your Bitcoin at, you want to buy your Bitcoin at 10,200. So you state that that's the amount of the amount that you want to buy Bitcoin at. So someone selling, if Bitcoin drops to that value, someone selling at that rate, automatically you make that trade by with the amount that you've listed. Same as if you want to sell, you sell at that rate. If probably you feel like Bitcoin will go up, you state maybe Bitcoin will go up to 10,400, and someone who, if Bitcoin appreciates and someone wants to, buy Bitcoin at that rate, the person uses your the rate at which you've stated your Bitcoin price. So that's how spot trading works. You can actually, if you don't want to wait, you don't want to limit your price, you can actually buy at market price. So if, let's say, Bitcoin is trading now at 10,300, just state that I want to buy my Bitcoin at 10,300, or I want to sell it at 10,300. That's you market traded it. Then we also have the OTC trading. The OTC trading is just as I explained earlier, it's just buying Bitcoin from one person to another. But with that, someone has to list it. Let's say I want to sell Bitcoin at this price. The person lists it, maybe selling it at a bulk price, maybe selling maybe 10 BTC, and you want to buy at that, you want to buy BTC at that value, you want to buy that amount of BTC. All you do is you go to our OTC platform, you state what you want to buy, then you go ahead and do that transaction on our platform. Exchief actually provide you with that platform where you can buy and sell BTC and any other cryptocurrency that you want to buy. I explained how hodling Bitcoin, as in if you feel the asset that you're having will appreciate in value, you hodl it, then you wait for it to appreciate, then you make that sale. Then we have a way of hedging Bitcoin or hedging any cryptocurrency. So hedging in simple terms means that you actually reduce the risks of your investment. Okay? So in Bitcoin terms, what it means that you're actually selling your Bitcoin to a stable asset. For instance, on the cryptocurrency market, we have a lot of stable coins. We have the USDT, we have TUSD, we have BUSD. Normally, they are backed by the currency dollar. Okay, but on our platform, we have the USDT and CAC. CAC is actually backed by RMB, and the USDT is backed by the dollar. Okay, so let's say we all know that Bitcoin appreciates and depreciates in value. So for instance, you know that the Bitcoin price will go down, and you don't want to lose. Let's say you just bought Bitcoin, let's say $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, and you know that the price is going to go down. And you don't want to lose the value or the amount that you use in buying the Bitcoin. What you do is you sell your Bitcoin for CAC, or you sell your Bitcoin for USDT, so that you protect the value or the amount that you use in buying it. So when it goes down, all you have to do is you have to use that USDT to buy back your Bitcoin so that you can get more Bitcoin. That's what it means. That's what it means by hedging. Okay. Now this a slide, this is a visual of, let's say, a chart of Bitcoin. It's basically showing you the up and down trend of Bitcoin. Now we'll look at the benefits of as in having cryptocurrencies. Okay, basically is to solve our ways of payment and also to eradicate the third party involvement in making payments. So if I want to buy something, I don't need anyone to verify my transaction. I just need, all I have to do is go on a platform, I pay for it, and I get what I need. And it also has lower transaction costs. Like, as it rises in popularity, you will see more businesses, coming into the picture, implementing or integrating it into their businesses. Now, on our platform, we realize that especially when you are using OTC platform, you realize that you can use mobile money for transactions there. My colleague will further explain that. But these are the mode of transactions or the mode of payments you can use on our Exchief platform. You can use mobile money, you can use Vodafone, Airtel, Tigo Money, PayPal, Alipay, WeChat, and Visa and MasterCard. Okay, these are, so you have any of these payment method, you can actually make use of it on our platform. Then we have, you can also reach us on our various social media handles. We are on LinkedIn as Exchief Trade, on WeChat, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. You can also send, if you have anything that you need or any information that you need about our platform, all you need to do is send us a mail at support@exchief.com or info@exchief.com. For more information, you go on www.exchief.com to make use of our platform. So my colleague Arthur will continue from where I stopped, and we'll actually go in depth about how to use our Exchief platform, how to trade, and how to hedge your currencies, and also how to use our OTC platform. Thank you very much.
All right. So thanks for the intro, Joshua. We'll be going through the final session of our of our program, and we'll be looking at how to do spot trading on the Exchief platform, and also look at how to hedge with stable coins. And when we're done with that, we'll also go through how to buy and sell CAC on our OTC desk. Now, in order to get everything done in time, we'll be combining the spot trading bit with the hedging aspect so that we have enough time to do the buying and selling of the CAC bit. So I'm just going to log into my account at this moment so that we get started. Now, before you do any spot trades on here, you have to make sure that your account should be created, because you will need your account function in full to be able to handle spot trades on the Exchief platform. So let's just bear that in mind. Once you get your account created, make sure to do all the back-end settings to your account before you decide to handle any trades on the exchange. All right, so we do a quick login. All right, so just put in my code. Okay, so we are logged into the account. And like I was saying earlier, make sure all the settings in your back office are done so that you'll be able to use the full function of your account. Make sure your nickname is set, your KYC verification is done, payment gateway is set, and then you add on the phone number if you sign up with the email, and vice versa if you signed up with a phone number. You get your Google Authenticator added to your account. And then once that is done, you can do trades on the exchange. So I will be, like I said, combining both the spot trading and the hedging bit. So with that, I will make use of a USDT and a Bitcoin trade pair. And in our previous video, we looked at navigation on the Exchief platform, where we said that you can group the trading interface into three main areas. This portion where you have the various markets displayed, this second portion where you have your trading chart, okay, and then another portion where you have your order book being listed. And then the final thing we looked at was the bottom portion of the screen, where you would also have the area where you would input your trade parameters if you decide to go on a trade, which is this portion. Okay, so for those of us who missed that, that is just a brief recap of that session. Now, someone would want to find out what spot trading is. So basically, spot trading just has to do with making judgments on market pricing, okay, and then using those judgments to make a bit of profit during trade. Okay, so you analyze the market, you have spot on information that prices are expected to move in a particular direction, and once you have that information, you can also organize your trade to go in favor of that direction, and then by so doing, you make some amount of profit after the trade is done. So we're going to just do this, and then here I have an amount of 5.45 USDT, which we'll be using for this trade. So this trade is on the assumption that BTC, which is currently at a price of 10,246, is going to see an increase in price. And depending on the analysis you do, you realize that if you're expecting a 5% increase or a 10% increase from the current amount, that is where you will play your trade around so that you can make that margin. So right now I want to move this amount of USDT I have into Bitcoin, because on the assumption I made, we are assuming that Bitcoin is going to see that amount of increment. So I will want to either do a limit buy or a market buy. And in our previous video, we explained what these two mean. And I said that with a limit buy, you actually get the option of putting in a price of your choice. So unlike here, where you have the 10,269 price being displayed, you can actually make it say 10,300 or 10,100, depending on what you want to get done. Okay, so on here, by doing a limit buy, I want to buy whichever Bitcoin I have, which will be worth 5.45 USDT at a price slightly lower than this price. So I would just probably do 10,200, since the figure I have on board is 10,268. So I do this, and once this is done, you have to choose which amount of the quantity out of your stock that you want to use. If you want to use everything, then you probably want to do 100% buy, or if you want to do less than that, whichever one falls into your area of preference, you can do either 25%, 50%, or the full 100. So I'm going to keep mine at 100%. That means that I'm trading this whole amount of USDT. And once you have all that parameters set, all you have to do is click on the buy BTC button, and then you have this order successful feedback. So you realize that down here in your list of open orders, you have the transaction you just did lining up over the time, the category, the price, which we set at 10,200. You have that displayed, and the corresponding amount of Bitcoin that will be credited to your account if your trade is successful. Okay, so that's the amount of USDT we're trading, and that is the trade we just did. As you can see, I have another trade that is also yet to fulfill in my open order list. Okay, so that is the kind of transactions that pop up here. For transactions that are yet to be fulfilled on the order book, you have all that in here. Your order history is just a list of past transactions that you've done. So for transactions that have gone on previously on your account, you have all that listing over here. Now, we're making an assumption that Bitcoin is expected to see a price increment. And because of that, we tried buying this amount of Bitcoin so that by the time the price increment sets in, whichever value, assuming we bought this amount of Bitcoin and it's currently worth, say, the same amount of USDT we bought, because $1 worth of USDT is equal to $1 worth of Bitcoin. So that this amount would definitely be worth $5 at the point we buy. So once the point we bought this at is also the same point we are seeing the price increment. Then it means that if it's a 50% or 15% or 20% increment in BTC price we see, that is a corresponding increment of the worth of our Bitcoin value that we will have. So if it's $5, then we are expecting a 15% increment from the $5 value. Now, once you have that, okay, then it will mean that the trade has gone on successfully. And then by then you would have seen a 15% increment in the price of whatever quantity of Bitcoin you have. And by so doing, you'd have to actually move the funds and the quantity of Bitcoin back into USDT, because in the same way, based on market analysis, you would realize that by then you would be expecting another dip or slight reduction in the price of BTC. And in order to protect the current value of whatever you have, you move this back into USDT. So therefore you have to buy USDT by doing the same thing we did earlier, and you would use this area over here. So you'd actually have to sell the amount of Bitcoin you have and buy USDT. And by doing that, you not only protect the value of the second trade that you did, but you'd also increase the amount of Bitcoin in your holding, because you follow the principle of moving the funds before the increment and then moving the funds before a decrement in the price of BTC. So basically that's how to go about a trade if you want to hedge around the BTC USDT pair with the intention of making a bit of profit and also keeping the value of your assets from dipping in the direction of a market down or a dip in market price. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Every time you want to hedge, you have to get your market analysis or your price prediction spot on, so that you always catch the trade at the right moment and at the right time. All right, so we'll go straight from here, and then we'll look at how to handle transactions on the OTC desk. So to do that, you have to click on this fiat button on here, and then it gives you this interface, and this is where you handle trades on the OTC desk. Now, there are two main kinds of trades that will go on the OTC desk. You're either doing normal trade amounts, that is small amounts, so to speak, or you'll be doing bulk amounts. So for the small amounts, you make use of these two buttons on here, these two buttons at the top. And for huge or bulk amounts, you make use of the lower buy and sell buttons you have. So let's take note of that. Other than that, both of these buttons perform the same function. Okay, so we'll look at how to buy CAC from the OTC desk. So right on this interface, because we are buying CAC, we highlight on that as an option, and then we come down here to tweak the parameters to our choice. So we click on this, and we choose on Ghana, and we have to also choose payment method. And for this, we'll choose MTN mobile money, and then we'll keep the currency at GHS. So once you have the final parameter punched in, you realize that the system does a search and provides you with this particular sale or this particular ad from this seller. Okay, so you have the nickname of the seller, you have his credibility rating showing, and that's 100%. And then you have the amount of CAC he's advertising. You have the limit, which actually determines how small of this ad you can buy and how large of this ad you can buy. You have the unit price of the stock he's selling, and then you have the payment method. And once you are satisfied with all these details, you click on the buy button, and this is the interface you have. Okay, so in the same way, you have the spot price, the unit price showing, the amount also indicated, the limit, the payment time limit, and then the payment method. So once you're okay with this, you can also choose to put in the amount, and the amount you put here should also tally with the limit bracket set by the seller. So we're going to keep this at 150 since he has a limit of 100. So we'll keep that at 150. And you realize that immediately you click on this 150, the buy now button also checks blue. It means it's active. Okay, and then be mindful of this countdown so that it doesn't time you out and you'd have to start the process all over again. So we quickly click on buy now, and then we have the last but one window. Okay, so you have the same information from the previous screen populating over here, but then this time around you have to check this payment option, which is the MTN mobile money payment option set by the seller. So we check this, and immediately our go to pay button also checks blue, and then we go on to click on that, and we have this final window. Okay, so one thing to take note of is the payment account name and the mobile number. So you kindly make sure that whichever device you are making your payment from, the name displayed on your device is the same name captured here, so that you don't have the problem of making payments to a wrong account. Okay, so always make sure that the name captured here tallies with the payment number and also the name displayed on your device, whether from your mobile phone or whether from your bank account. Make sure that the details captured on here are the same details displayed on your device. And once that is done, you can click on mark as paid, and you also have this feedback displaying. Okay, so once this is done, the seller is notified in his back office that a payment has been made to his account, and then the stock in question is released into your account, and then the transaction is completed. So this is how to buy an order from the OTC desk, and it's quite straightforward. You only have to follow the process step by step, and you shouldn't have any problem. So the last thing we want to look at is to how to place an ad on the OTC desk. So maybe you have Bitcoin you want to sell, you have Ethereum or USDT you want to sell. You want to see how to handle that kind of scenario. Okay, so in the same way, you use the same fiat button, you come back to the home display of the OTC desk, and this time around you choose the publish ad icon. Okay, so we click on this, and then we begin to populate this interface with ad details. Okay, and because we are doing CAC, we click on CAC as an option, and then we are doing a sell, so we keep this at the sell option. Other than that, if you are doing a buy, you can also check on this, and then you have the option switch. So we keep it on sell, and then we change the currency to Ghana cedi because that's what we want to receive after the ad is honored by a buyer. Okay, so available, I'm going to choose to sell probably 90 out of the 100 I have in my account. Okay, so I want to sell 90 CAC out of my 100. The price you see displayed on here is the unit price of 1 CAC. Okay, so I have currently it's 82.8260 Ghana cedis or 82 pesos. So 1 CAC costs this much. Okay, so we come to the pricing method, and you realize that there's a drop down arrow here where when you drop it down, you have the option of either market price premium or the custom premium. And when you choose the custom premium, it means that you have to actually put in your own price. So depending on which price you want to sell, if it's 70 pesos or 50 pesos, you have to actually choose that price yourself. But if you choose to keep this option at the market price premium, it means that this is a price that the system automatically picks up, and then that is the price you will be selling your CAC at. Also, in addition to that, the system also gives you the option of tweaking this market price premium a bit, and you have two ways you can do that. When you drop this down, you can either do above the reference price, which is this price, or you can do below the reference price. If you choose to do a below the reference price, that would mean that you'd have to choose the percentage by which you want to sell below the reference price, which is this price. So let's keep that in mind. Every time you see a reference price, it's referring to the unit price of that particular stock you want to sell. So if you do a below the reference price, you realize that before you populate this area with any figure, the price displayed on here is the same as the price displayed on here. So if I decide to put, say, 10%, immediately you realize that the price on here changes and by a difference of 10% as compared to the initial price over here. Okay, so we are saying that we want to sell this 90 CAC that we have in our account at a market price of 10% lesser than the onboard unit price on the OTC desk. Okay, so we'll keep this at a below the reference price option, and then we'll keep this at 10%. And this is the new price we are selling our 90 CAC at. Okay, so the total to expect after the 90 CAC is sold is 66.90 Ghana cedis, and that's approximately 67 cedis. Okay, so we also put in the minimum and maximum CAC Ghana cedi bracket. So out of this 66 cedis, I will choose my minimum to be 20, and then my maximum to be, say, 50. And this should fall within the maximum amount of CAC you are selling, so which is 66 cedis. So if this is, say, 70, you can do 70 and see the feedback it's going to give you. Realize that when you put 70, it gives you this feedback. It says the maximum limit cannot be greater than the total amount. And that just simply means that the amount you are putting on here is greater than the maximum amount you are expecting after your ad is honored. So make sure that the amount you put on here is lesser than the total amount you're expecting. And that is how to handle these two columns over here. So once that is done, you come down and then you set the time limit for the payment. And I advise that you keep this at a fair duration amount to give whichever buyer who wants to buy your ad some amount of good time to make payments for your ad. So 25 minutes or 20 minutes, it's fair enough time for anybody to make payments for any ad. And then the minimum number of transactions of the other party, you can keep at a setting of 0 so that you have as many people as possible having access to your ad. So the final thing you have to do on the ad setting is to choose a failure time. And the failure time is the duration in which your ad stays active on the OTC desk. So between 2 days to 30 days, you have the option of choosing anyone you want. So I'll pick 7 days, that is a week, for my ad to stay active. And after a week, if my ad isn't cleared, it means that the balances on there are returned to my OTC account. So the last thing on here to do is to click the payment option, which is MTN mobile money. And once you do that, the final publish an ad button also checks. And this means that your ad is ready to get published. And once you're okay with all the parameters set, you can click on publish ad and you have this interface. It says, congratulations, the ad was successfully published. So our ad is active and buyers on the OTC desk can actually see this ad we just put out. And to also confirm that, we come back to the account settings area where you click on this avatar icon and then you come to ad management. Okay, so you click on that, and because it's a sell ad we're doing, you click on the sell ad button, and this is the ad we just did at the top. Okay, we're selling CAC at an amount of 74 pesos. Remember, we did a price premium reduction, so, and we chose 10%, so that's the new price. We're selling 90 CAC. That's what is displayed over here, and that is the status of our transaction. It says releasing. Okay, and you can also view it to have all those details. So just like we were looking at when we're trying to buy the CAC and we viewed the seller's ad, if anybody should also view this ad, this is how it's going to display for them: the price I'm selling at, the amount I'm selling, the limit, the payment time, and then the method of payment that I'm receiving. Okay, so once that is done, this is the kind of information that will be displayed when your ad goes active. And when you come back to the OTC, you realize that the amount you put on here on the ad, which is the 90, is deducted from your available balance, and you have just 10 CAC available to play around with. So once you put an out there, the amount is split between your available balance and the pending trade balance. Okay, so you can only play around with this amount of balance that is available to you. So if you want to put out another trade, this is how much you can put out. Or if you want to do a withdrawal from the exchange, then this is how much you can withdraw out of your balance. Okay, and if at any point in time you do not feel comfortable with continuing the trade again, just in the same ad management area, you also have the option of canceling any active ads you have on there. So you click on sell ad and you realize that on here you have a close button. So if you want to cancel the ad we just did, you click on the close ad and you have this window coming up. It says closing the ad will lead to stop of the trade. Are you sure you want to close this ad? And because we want to close the ad, we click on confirm, and then you have this feedback coming up to confirm if what we did went on successfully. Come back to your OTC account and you realize that the balance that was split between 10 and 90 is returned. You have the 90 being returned back to your available balance, and you have a full balance of 100 CAC. Okay, so that is how to handle transactions on the OTC desk. Okay, and it's very straightforward and very simple. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time, and that is how to go about spot trading and OTC buy and sell ads. We'll now give time for any questions and points to address, points that you didn't understand during the presentation. Any questions, please?
Boss, you okay with it? You understand everything? To fund your accounts, what you do is you can do it two ways. These assets there that are listed, you can buy any of them. As I explained earlier on, when you want to buy BTC, normally you buy it through a merchant, someone who buys and sells Bitcoin. He is one, I'm also one. You can buy BTC from me, you can sell. So you get your address on the exchange, then you send it to anyone who is selling BTC. You send a mobile money attached and the value by which you want to buy, the amount you want to buy. Then after the money is received, they send you the amount of BTC that you want to buy. So the address you get it from, if you go there, so you click on deposit, you realize that this is your address. You just copy it, then you give it to the person you are buying the BTC from. Then the person will send you the amount of BTC. Then you are good to go. Any other people, if ETH that you or Ethereum that you want to fund, you can use it. Okay. And another way is by funding with as in fiat, using the fiat method. Without you fund with uh, you fund with mobile money, but with that you have to as in buy. Someone has to advertise. Okay, let's say I'm selling my I have BTC. and I'm selling it on the platform. So using our OTC platform, you just once you've as a connected or you've linked your mobile money account to our exchange platform, and you go to the fiat payment gateway and you select that you want to buy BTC. If anyone is advertising to sell BTC, you will see it. Then you click on the buy button, then you make payment. So it will be deducted from your mobile money straight. With that one, you don't have to use any merchant because someone is just advertising on our using the OTC. Then you go ahead and buy it. So it's as simple as that. So basically that's that. You're welcome. All right, sure. Well, on that note, thank you very much for making time to be here. We are always, our doors are always open anytime that you want to, you know. But learning, yeah, you have to put it into practice. You have to always be learning. The spot trading is always like that one is real time. So everyone is buying and selling there. You can always go and trade there. But make sure when you are trading, you will know that what the asset that you are buying, you know that what the price will be going or whether it's going down or going up so that you don't make any loss on it. Okay. So that's what we'll say about Exchief platform. We'll be making more training as the time goes on, just for everyone to be conversant with it. Sure. Thank you very much.
So this training, are you going to book it?
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. And one more thing to add, when you drop down to the bottom of our web, you have information on the beginner's guide made available, and you have a step-by-step detailed document on how to navigate and also how to handle the various sections of the website. You can also follow us on our various social media handles. We are on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we are also on LinkedIn. And you have any questions, kindly contact us on customer support, and you can also send us an email and we will be more than willing to assist you. So this is the end of another training session, and stay tuned for more from Exchief. Trade with Exchief. Thank you.